So last year, I went on this rant about comparison and how comparison being a thief of joy is too like reductive, and that comparison is more like a failed science project where our minds are constantly looking to shore up uncertainty on how we're doing in a social context, and so we compare with one another. But when I think about that version of me, I think about how I was still very angry with myself for comparing. Like, I'm like almost trying to convince my mind, like, yo, comparison doesn't make sense. Here are the sciencey facts, you know? And recently, I've been, I don't know, I've been thinking about comparison more as a negative representation of something that you want. We live in this world and we relate to one another. We relate to everything, and it helps us see not only our roles, but what we want, who we are, what we value. Everything in the world reflects back at us. It mirrors us. And it tells us something about us. But we have internalized, I believe, well, I had internalized a very negative way of looking at myself because it was about risk aversion. I was like, oh, these people have these things. I need that. And it was a very like a lack mindset. I'm lacking something that they have. Once I get it, the risk is mitigated. And I think that when you say like, oh, comparison is a thief of joy, just don't compare. It kind of, yeah, I mean, simply put, yeah, don't compare. But we are comparing, and we can't demonize ourselves. The way to stop comparing, I believe, isn't like, oh, I'm comparing, and then like, oh no, we don't do that anymore. But before we do that, tell us we don't need this anymore. We have to know what comparison is reflecting back to us. So recently I've been realizing when I compare, it just tells me something that I want. And I basically start framing it in like a positive sense. Ooh, confirmation burp. It's like, so if I'm comparing myself and I'm like, oh, this woman's so beautiful, I'm not beautiful, then I'm like, you know what? I think I've never dedicated myself really to my body as much, the way I look, fashion. It's been a really long time since I accessed that. That is what I want. Not like devaluing someone else, but getting that for myself. So positive framing.